Right, this is the Litmus podcast with me, Swazi McKelly.
Me, the real Ben Hurst.
And our gorgeous friends.
So beautiful. Hello, pretty princess.
Pretty princess in the house. Miss Shanai, how are you?
I'm good.
Out here.
It's hot.
Yeah, it's very warm in here.
You're bringing the
fair.
heat.
Oh.
You've just got your GCSE results.
Oh my
Come
days.
on, come
oh
on.
My, can we have a
Buffed it.
celebration?
Yeah, can
Hot
we?
water.
Yeah.
Shoot. Let's get this. Well,
I didn't realise it was that kind
Walk
of
me through that day, please. Walk me through the day you went in,
Okay.
gone and got your results.
how did it feel?
So, emotions were high.
Yeah,
It was tense.
mad.
But, was banging out the gospel tunes
You
on
had
the way.
to. You had
On
to.
the way. It's a 15-minute drive.
You had to. Yeah,
It's long. So we had a bit of Kirk Franklin.
Get some Kirk
Giving
in
me a
there.
bit of hope. I was just convincing myself it's going to be okay.
Yeah.
It's fine if you don't get results that you need.
It's not fine. It's not fine. It's a lie.
What do you mean?
So, walked in. Saw a couple people.
Saw them.
Said hi, got to act like I was casual.
Yeah, it's calm.
Because if I'm not casual, everyone else going to be up there. It's going to be up there.
You're the one that brings solidarity. Yeah.
I am the one, always. So, walked in with the mumsy. Walked in, everyone was standing outside, a bit tense.
Yeah,
Everyone
yeah.
didn't know what was going on.
Yeah.
No one asked no questions.
Don't ask no questions.
Then, my head of year stepped forward and was like, "Parents, you can't come past here."
Oh no!
Whoa.
I was a bit confused, a bit
Stress
confuzzled.
and distress.
Stressed and distressed, can you imagine? Can
That is
you
wild.
imagine? So I was walking with my friend Megan. Then, as I turned the corner, burst out in tears because I was like, "Where's my mum?"
And you was nervous beforehand as well.
I was nervous. Just like you got to fake it.
After the English lit exam. you
After
were
the English, I
struggling.
was bawling.
Yeah.
Unseen poetry was literally unseen. Did not see that.
She hadn't seen it. She
Did not
hadn't
see
seen
that.
it before.
Did
It was
not
a myth.
see that.
Didn't see that one coming.
Walked around the corner, sobbing. Was well embarrassed because my head of year, I was like, "I want my mum." And my head of year was like,
You're a big
"Your
girl
mum's
now.
not coming here."
You're a big girl now. It's time to grow up.
This is the real world.
Walked in because you have people that would already open their results as you walked in, and you was trying to gauge their reactions. But I was like, "No, this is my time.
It's for me.
It's Shanai time now." Walked forward, was queuing. This woman slowly sifting through envelopes. I was like, "B, I've been here 20 minutes.
Come on, let's get it.
Give me them results." Then I realised that I could walk back out and open them with mum, which was a
Okay,
bit
all right.
embarrassing because
Why
there
was
was
you
still
crying?
tears. There was still
Trust.
tears in my eyes.
Very
So I was
emotional
like,
for no
"Oh,
reason.
hi, mum." I was like, "Oh, hi." Mum was like, "Oh, you're here." I was like, yeah. Walked outside. Mum's like, "Okay, calm down. Opened it. My finger was hella shaking. It was a bit tough. Opened it, unravelled it. There was like 20 pieces of paper in
Yeah,
there.
it's so tense.
20 pieces of paper. I was like, what one? And people were saying there's going to be an acceptance letter into the sixth form. So that already tells you if you've got back in.
Mad.
I didn't see no acceptance letter, so I was
my
already
days.
panicking.
Wow.
I was like, oh my gogosh, I didn't get back in. This is the end. There's no point now.
It's all over. It's a wrap.
So then
I'm
I
going to
opened it.
Westminster.
My life would... can you imagine? Opened it. And then I saw a 6 in German. A 6, for those of you who don't know, is just a B.
Yeah, everything's
A B.
switched up. For the listeners, it's all changed now.
All
changed.
When you did GCSEs or O-levels or whatever it was, I don't know.
O-levels.
Yeah, guys was really out here. But when I did my GCSEs, it was A star to E?
F.
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 U to U. So you could get unclassified, then it was F. I can't
Fail.
do the
F was
alphabet,
fail.
but up to A star. But now it's switched up. It's numbers. We've got double stars out here. We don't really know what's going on, so carry on.
So basically they added a new grade 9,
Mhm.
A star.
Mm.
I got one of those.
Obviously,
Hey.
out here. Come on,
You
somehow.
know, whipping that work always.
Hey.
Always.
We've been doing this.
Yeah. Got a 9 in drama.
Mhm.
We already
It's
been
light
new.
work.
We've been new, so it was light work. Got the reverse 9, the 6 in German, which was also... No. That's
Fam,
a
I can't
proud
speak
moment.
German.
What's
Yeah.
a 6?
German,
6 sounds
a
low.
B.
Wow.
Yes, that's
Wow.
deep. Well
What was
done.
your lowest grade?
B.
Wow.
Hey, come on now.
So what was the rest of them?
So you had a 9,
Yeah.
obviously. You had the 2 8s.
Yeah.
So I got an A star in media,
Mhm.
A star in biology.
Wait, so the
Hey.
9 the 9 is an A star.
A star.
Oh my days.
Yep.
You're so clever.
Thanks.
Then all the rest of them were what?
All the rest were 7s.
Wow. So all the rest were A's.
Yeah.
Are you actually a genius?
You are a child
Slash
genius.
Wow.
I just, I
I just
didn't
do what I
really
do.
know it.
I do what I does.
I didn't
Gets
really know
done.
it
Crazy.
before. I can no longer say I'm not an academic. That was my thing.
Yeah.
I'm always like, I'm a creative. It's not my thing.
Yeah.
But I got an 8 in biology.
I
I
don't
actually was like to my teacher when I opened them, I was like, should I become a doctor?
He was like,
Because I was like, this is it's a simpler
he was
career,
like,
to be honest.
should I dip my hand into the
You know,
sciences? I don't
Back
know.
up. An 8 in
Like,
biology.
do you know what
I
the
was
mad
like,
thing is? The mad thing is about getting those grades is everything is an option. Everything's accessible. It doesn't actually like point out anything. That's mad. So like, there's nothing that is off limits because you did even German.
Even German.
You could be
I
a
could
German
be a-
Move
now.
to Germany.
Be a German.
You could actually
yeah.
be a German.
Yeah.
You could do.
That
You
is
could
wild.
do.
I'm considering it now.
Mad.
Shanai,
mad.
thank you
Seeds.
so much, man. Like, you've just smashed your GCSEs.
Oh,
You've done a
thanks.
really, really good job. And just the lead up to it wasn't the most enjoyable
No.
lead up, but I'm sure that's the experience of many students still sitting their exams. And to get to the other side of that with the grades that you've got, myself and Ben just want to say congrats, man. That
Oh,
is,
thanks, guys.
Yes. So
We've
it brings
actually
us
bought you
nicely.
this nothing to celebrate.
Here's a slice of
How did
nothing.
you know?
But we want you here for this litmus in particular. The litmus podcast, all about dunking in those questions and statements into this room to spark these conversations. So your litmus today is: life is harder as a teenager than it is as an adult. So life right now at your age as millennials is harder to live than it is to be an adult. Do you agree?
It's very controversial.
Don't get nervous. Say it with your chest.
Well, me, personally,
She's like, my life is very hard.
my life, is it harder than Ben's? My life is hard.
Wow.
A
She
whole
said her
wow.
life is
Am I allowed to change my opinion
Yeah,
at any
you can
point?
change.
Yeah, of course you
change
can.
your
Okay,
opinion.
I'm
We'll
just
What
get
gonna-
makes your
another
life
one.
harder than Ben's?
That I've never experienced anything like it. It's my first time now. Like GCSEs, you've done that. I know it was my first time. So
But
if
I
you,
only did my
No.
GCSEs once.
No, so is it your GCSEs, then you had A-levels, no?
Yeah.
You had uni,
Yeah.
but GCSEs had already prepped you for that.
You had your 11 plus, no? She's like,
nothing.
just.
It's nothing compared
Okay.
to GCSEs.
So you're saying, so this period of time, what makes it hard in particular? Is it the studies? Is it the exams? Is it the hormones? Assuming that you've got hormones going, I don't know. I don't want to make any bold statements. Or is it like relationships, friendships? Like, what's the stuff that's going on for 16-year-olds today? Because when I was 16, I was very, very. I would think I was actually still playing with Yu-Gi-Oh cards. So, what's the deal for you?
Bit tense. So for me, GCSEs were horrible.
Yeah.
Never experienced stress like that before. And when adults are telling you, that's not stress. Oh, no. You've never experienced stress. It's stress to me.
Yeah,
In
it's
perspective,
relative.
that is the most stressful thing I've ever been through in my life. Yeah?
Yeah.
I know I sound a
Okay.
bit dramatic, but I
Yeah.
did get a 9 in drama, so
Yeah, you did bang it.
so I'm allowed to be dramatic. So, yes, so GCSEs, balancing GCSEs with friendships and relationships
Yeah.
and hormones.
Yeah.
It's a big pot of things that are new,
A
are new
melting
to
pot of
every.
destruction.
I think people underestimate how stressful it is, because let's just lay it out, right? How many GCSEs did you do?
I took 10.
10 GCSEs.
It's a lot.
It's a lot. That's a lot to remember, number one. It's a lot to commit to one subject to get the same result for all 10 subjects.
Yeah.
And it's a lot to do at the same time.
Yeah.
So whereas you grow up and you take your A-levels, you narrow 10 down to 4. And then you go to university and you narrow 4 down to 1. But just as for us to go back, yeah, it was stress, because to do exams and the exam side, especially for a lot of people who are not exam based, to sit something where your whole 2 years, 3 years of education is based on 45 minutes, an hour, 45 minutes.
They're saying this is whether you know this or not.
Yeah. And
It's
the outcome
memory.
of this.
It's not knowledge at all. It's your memory. Like, you could be, like, I know so many people that are so incredibly smart,
Yeah.
but they're just not good in exams. They're not good with
Shout
memorizing.
out to all the failures. Get your grades up. No, I'm joking. Sorry.
You've got to
that's
get
me.
your memory up.
Sorry.
But it's true.
And depending on your circumstances, like your train could have been late, you could have been stressed.
Yeah.
Then you go in there, you have to be prepped. Everyone's sitting there waiting for
Yeah,
you.
you don't have your compass. It's mad.
Oh.
Where's the protractor?
Do you want me to tell you a story?
Yes, I do.
GCSE mocks, maths was one of my
It's
poorest.
already stressful.
I had
Maths is stressful.
So you had the hall stage where everyone put their bags.
Yeah.
And I was like, Miss, can I go get my compass? I forgot it. She was like, yeah, cool. So everyone was waiting for me. I ran up on the stage, was looking through my bag, did not see a compass, yeah? Do you know what I saw? I saw one of those walking compasses, which has the sharp bits on both ends.
Yeah. Oh, do you not use those anymore?
No.
Oh, my days.
So I took it.
2018, can you imagine?
I took it and then concealed the bottom so no one clocked that I had the wrong compass.
Yeah.
Ran back to my seat and was like, everything's fine.
Yeah.
A compass question came up that I had to draw a circle.
Yeah.
I scored the paper
Oh, because
with the sharp bit of compass.
Oh.
I scored the paper and then like shaded it with the pencil, and I drew an arrow and was like, didn't have a compass. And I got the point.
Well,
I got the point.
Because what we're really testing is your ability to be adaptable, ingenuitive. What's the word that Nike uses? Innovative. Shout out Nike. We need a sponsorship.
So as life as a teenager, someone, you know, people are going to say, really, is it that hard? Put GCSEs aside. You don't have a mortgage. You haven't got a job. You haven't got bills.
Neither do I.
So,
No,
yeah.
I'm joking.
And neither do a lot of adults, to be honest with you. So what are the things as a 16-year-old that make life harder now that you're looking forward to dropping or leaving the minute you become an adult?
So, that's a very interesting question.
Because you're going to go into your A-levels, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So the difference with what I'm looking forward to with A-levels is obviously I'm dropping the subjects that I don't need or want. Maths gone, science gone, even though doctor career almost pursued. But
Miss Biology.
It was an
German
option. I could have
gone.
been a doctor because I got an A in biology. So everybody shut up. Do you know what I mean?
But so I'm looking forward to dropping that, but I'm also looking forward to, like, I hate to not sound nice, but in school you're dealing with your stress, you're dealing with your own problems, your own hormones. But me being the person that I am, people rely on me for support, and it's a very strenuous life. Always being the person that is always up there, always loud, always talking. Everyone relies on me for happiness. Even the people that I don't speak to that much, they know that Shanai is the one that is gonna make me happy. Like, okay, blah blah blah. But I'm looking forward to dropping that. Like, there's 150 people in my year. That's 150 people that
are looking to me,
that might come to me if they need help. And I like to be that person, but as an adult, that's not something that I need to. All those fake friendships, all those people that just use me for my benefit, like for their own benefit.
Yeah.
And
sounding like a Drake song, boy. This is
Boy,
real.
this is
mad real.
But what if I told you that won't ever go away? What if I told you that you might join a career or a workspace or an office or a family, and those people around
Family,
you...
that is deep. That's
Family is a 16-year-old.
your own
Stress.
kids.
Yeah, your own kids. But the idea that people will always look to you, if you are that way inclined, which you are bubbly, you are energetic, you are that good person to be around, that's never going to stop because that's who you are. So is life going to be any different for you as a 16-year-old than it is as an adult, do you think?
I'm going to make sure.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell these people.
Do you know?
I'm sorry.
Do you know what I've just thought of while you were speaking is I feel like everything in life, as you get older, gets whittled down. So, like, the amount of friendships you have. When I was in school, I had hella friends.
Of course.
Now I've got, like, 6.
Mr.
And
Popular.
trust me, I can't help it. When I was when I was 16, I was studying so many different things, and now I literally have like 4 things that I'm interested in, that I think about or that I put my energy into. Like, you're doing all of these activities, you're going to sports clubs or whatever, music clubs or blah 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 blah, and now you have 1 job and maybe 2 hobbies if you're pushing yourself. Do you know what I mean? You might go swimming and read books or so. I don't know, but people don't generally tend to do loads of stuff. I think that's weird.
Yeah, but then wouldn't society tell you different? Because now everything's moving social. So as a 16-year-old, people will say, this is the worst time to be in because we're in a social depression where everyone is trying to live one way in the flesh and then a completely another way on social media. Does that affect you as a young person? Because it's affecting us as adults. So I can't even imagine what that looks like to have what I have now, but 10 years ago. What does that look for? Or what does it look like as a young girl being on social media? Is that stress?
Yeah, it is stress. Yeah. So, for example, I'll give you an example. Even something as simple as a meme can make me deep my whole entire existence.
Them universe ones.
I was fully deep in one the other day that was like, you can't live a life if you're ordering plain chips at Nando's. I was like, I don't even know who's put this here, but it's now making me consider everything that I'm doing.
Am I actually a real person?
Can you imagine? Yeah. And I do enjoy my plain chips at Nando's.
No,
and I
but
don't
you
think
don't.
that that's a bad thing.
You don't.
I don't think it's a bad thing.
So what did that teach you? Or what did you gain from that?
It taught me that I don't care what people think, even if it gets 1 million likes.
Oh, I see.
It's a bold statement.
It's a strong.
I don't care.
So my thing is, let's take social media specifically. What is that like through the eyes of a 16-year-old? Because for me, like, I still feel like I'm pretty like involved in socials, but I can still detach from it. Whereas what I perceive of your generation is like your phone is like an extension of your arm.
Yeah,
like,
it is.
It's like literally just you. Like I was at yours the other day and you were like on Hangouts. I don't even know what that is. But House party. Some app where they're like 7 of them are all on FaceTime at the same time.
It's meant to be a party.
Yeah.
Mad.
Wow.
But like your friends are always accessible in a way that like me, definitely more than my parents, but like I still had a 3210, so I was like banging out like Snake and a couple text messages when I had credit. You guys like have Wi-Fi and WhatsApp, so everybody is always accessible.
Yeah.
What's that like?
So for me, I do really struggle to detach. Like when my mum takes my phone away for me to revise,
pain.
I'm struggling.
Stress.
I like turn on the record player. The record player for music. Can you imagine? But so for example, like when people don't reply to my message, they don't have no reason to be replying because everyone's active.
Yeah.
Everyone's active. You haven't posted that you're in the cinema.
Yeah.
You haven't posted, no replies. That's what people do. So if they know that they're not going to be accessible for an hour, they'll put no replies for an hour.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
That is wild.
It's wild.
I just air guys. I just air guys all the time.
So you have to state when you are active and when you're not active.
Mm-hmm.
So that pressure of why? Because you might miss something in that hour. What would you miss?
Is it FOMO?
Fear of missing out.
You'd miss.
Just for
Thanks for
the illiterate ones.
Yeah, like you don't miss out on much. When you're there, you're like, I don't need to be here. Like for a house party, if someone waves me and they're like, come into the house, you're missing out on stuff. No, they just want me for entertainment because they're bored as well. We're all bored.
Yeah,
everyone's waving each other, and then you sit there and you're like, this isn't actually what I want to be doing. But then when you go off your phone, you're then just sitting there in silence. Like I have nothing to do. I've refreshed my Twitter timeline about 3 times in these past 10 minutes. I don't follow enough people to be getting fresh stuff. And it just makes you like, what am I doing? Like, even though I know I should be doing other stuff, social media always finds a way of roping you back in. There's always new stuff to be doing. But is there, I'm not sure if there's new stuff.
So what do you do when you're not on socials? Watch Friends. What do you do? Like,
what do I do?
Do you have things that you personally like enjoy when you're not? If you didn't have your phone, like let's say I took your phone for a week, what would you do with that time or in that time? But I gave you like a 32. I gave you an old Nokia, so you could send text messages, but you only had like 5 text messages to send a day.
Okay.
And you could only call your parents.
I would bake.
Yeah.
You know, love a bit of food.
Yeah.
Although there's no phone to take a picture of my achievement with.
My gosh. Do you have to take pictures of your achievement?
You know, if it looks good.
Well.
If it looks good.
Wow.
I don't know. That's cool.
I don't know. So if it was like during this time where I could study, I could revise for something.
Yeah.
It distracts you.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't say I enjoy it.
Yeah.
There's not many things that I do enjoy, which is bad because when CVs and things and like your, what do you call it? University statement thing.
Personal statement.
Personal statement.
UCAS personal statement.
The statement.
Guys going on like I've been to university.
The statement.
Man's got degrees. Man's got degrees.
I don't know.
Singular.
I don't know what. Like, I know that not many young people could list more than 3 hobbies. Reading books doesn't really count anymore. I'm sorry.
That's not a hobby.
And the thing is, I don't even read books. I do try, but my phone's always there. So it's finding a way to put my phone away and not finding something else that is similar to distract myself. Because there's there's not many things that I would be able to put, oh, I really enjoy this or I really enjoy that, because this is everyone's life now, which is a bit sad. But
people listening to this probably will just say, why don't you do the house party but in
real life?
In real life, like,
actually link up.
Because the premise of this app is that everyone is waving to each other, like sending emojis and emoticons, but virtually, when that can be done in real life. So it isn't the substitute to just go off and do the things that your apps are giving you a virtual reality of. Or why don't young people, I don't know, like do you
chill with your friends often?
Yeah.
I don't chill.
Oh.
No. I will have a thing to do, and if I don't have a thing to do, there's no point, because it's effort to arrange, to get 8 people to pick a date, pick a time, what to do. That's something everyone will enjoy, but no one is. Why are we chilling? We're all just going to sit on our phones. Why are we chilling?
Yeah.
But but that's the same thing, but like contrary, like when we have sleepovers, everyone's like, why don't we do this all the time?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's effort.
Yeah.
It's exhausting to have a conversation with someone for 2 hours. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. That house party only lasts 40 minutes.
Wow.
Wait, give me a 20-minute break. I'll be back.
Fam, I'm actually in awe of this. I'm like, my eyes are bare open. I'm like,
you know what else made me shocked, right? Was that young people watch other young people watching YouTube. So there's videos.
That's mad.
Pam, just clock it. There's young people who switch over to YouTube
We sound
to
so
type
old.
in. No, but I
Be like, young people watch young people watching young people.
or young people watching young people play the game that they are also playing.
Yeah.
Rather than say, hey bro, come round, we're playing this game together. I don't understand, because if you're saying that life is harder now, but all it is that it's an effort thing to make sure that you are surviving the hard times. Like young people do have it harder, but I don't think that's for fault of anyone else's but your own.
Yeah.
Oh, mad.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think phones were introduced, social media was introduced, and then we've now just become addicted. Even though people will say that they're not addicted, we all are addicted, and it is really
That's
bad.
the first sign of addiction.
Acceptance. Sorry. So I have accepted that I am addicted, as I've just said, but there are many people that will say that they're not addicted, and I think that is what makes it hard, is that we don't have hobbies outside of it. We don't have other things that we do enjoy, but obviously there are, but we haven't been introduced to it. There's no one, like people say, oh, come to film club at lunchtime. Ain't no one going to film club at lunchtime.
Yeah, but industry and media has changed in that, like, to go to film club is long because you can make a film on your phone at lunchtime. So if you want to make a film, you just sit outside in the playground and make it on your phone.
No,
like,
but you miss out on the community of doing that, surely.
But you wouldn't do it by yourself, right? Unless you want to film butterflies and stuff.
But
like, you'll do
the
it with your
motivation. Yeah, like I think the club gives you the motivation to do that.
Okay.
Like my argument might be, oh, I can film it by myself, but I'm not going to film it by myself
Yeah,
because I'm not being told to.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so I'm going to use this opportunity because I feel like we have a lens through which we can see the world, which is very different.
It's a lot of pressure.
So I'm going to ask some off the top of my head, I'm going to ask some questions. This is one that I want to know. What are 16-year-old boys like?
So I go to an all-girls school.
Shout outs.
Shout out to same-sex schools.
Oh,
dummy justice.
Shout.
Boys are minging. I'm sorry.
Oh, really?
Ooh.
Oh,
really?
Wow.
Why?
I never expected it.
I never expected it.
They are everything that, to me, Hollywood has portrayed to me. I'm like, they smell.
Oh.
They're very, very hormonal.
Oh.
They can't hold conversations.
Oh.
They don't have jokes.
This is harsh.
All their jokes are sexual innuendos.
Yeah.
No.
They're not funny. That's true.
And like even when you witness, so I get the train, boys will stand in groups and not speak to each other.
Yeah.
They don't need conversation. That's so odd to me because me and my friends cannot have an awkward silence. We will make sure that there's something that we're talking about or watching or something. Boys will just happily sit with each other's company, which I do not get. And boys smell, sorry.
They stink.
Wow.
Boys, there are people that crave, but they crave a fantasy. They don't crave that. They They lie to themselves. You're not craving that little
What,
stinky
girls you
boy.
mean?
Yeah.
Girls? Oh, mad.
Like they crave it. They think it's cool to be liking boys. It's not cool to be liking boys. Give them a few years to mature and find out what like links. Well,
Yeah,
not
no
links.
older boys, please. No older boys. Thank
like,
you.
just
Stay
wait
away.
a few years. Just wait. They
Okay. People, it's another one I want to know. People
I've got
say
one.
that young people don't care about anything.
smell.
Are there things that you actually care about?
Yeah.
For example. She's like, yeah. No. I said, no.
Am I allowed to say friends and family?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can say what you want.
Is
That's a
that
lame
correct?
one though.
Yes.
Yeah.
I care about my goals.
Yeah.
I care about my studies.
Mm-hmm.
I care about. I was about to say what I look like, but I don't care about that.
Well, yeah.
Mm,
I feel like we have a lot of conversations about like pretty intense stuff that I assume most people wouldn't
Oh,
imagine
okay.
you talk about.
okay, so I care about like political issues.
Oh wow.
So I care about
That
feminism.
wasn't what I was expecting.
Oh,
No, it's fine.
so but linking back to social media, Twitter gives me all of that.
Oh.
Like so if I hear about the most recent Trump supporter that got his hat snatched, I learned that from Twitter.
Yeah, that's mad because when we were young, I never used to watch the news. But now you have the news
Yeah.
24/7 on
I have
your
the
phone.
news. I can just refresh.
Mad.
I can go on trends, and it makes me feel more woke as a person
Yeah.
that I saw that tweet before someone else did. But I think that I saw a tweet the other day that said older generations say, oh, young people don't care about anything. They're not doing anything. Like, they don't care about what's going on in the world. But then when we do, when I talk about feminism and racism and issues in this country, people are like, oh, you don't know anything. You're young. But so I can't win.
Yeah.
Like, so how do I get qualified on something that we all get given the same information?
Yeah.
Just because I know it before you does not like
Take away from
take
anything.
away
Yeah.
from what
Yeah.
I'm saying.
So when you talk about feminism and racism, what is it that you care about, or how was you introduced? Because when I was 16, I didn't know those words. I knew the
I was like,
experience.
did you see the new Britney Spears video? It was mad.
Did you know about cultural appropriation? Like, I
Chelsea.
didn't. So how were you introduced to those subjects that are quite meaty subjects, and how have you been able to get your head around such a big topic?
So being introduced to it was through my family, like my community. So my mum is very passionate about certain things.
Well,
Um,
incredibly passionate.
You've been a big influence actually.
Oh,
I
shout
would
out
say.
me.
Shout out you. Shout out you.
Wow,
You've
thank you.
given, and I wanted something to be able to speak about and to be passionate about. Maybe that's something because I don't care about much as a young person. I wanted something that I can have passion about and speak. I like helping people understand. So with feminism, so I was at a Christian camp a few weeks ago, and
This one time
This-
at band camp. It's a joke for the older listeners.
at Christian camp. So all of them have very opposing views to some of the things that I consider quite liberal views. So with feminism and things, there's lots of misinterpretations with it, and I love being like, no, like that's wrong. Like, I'm not saying that women are better. I'm not saying it, but
I'm not saying
I'm
it.
not
I might be
saying it, but-
thinking it. Yeah.
But I love tackling people's other like controversial views, and I love understanding how someone can have such different views. So Trump supporters and things, I don't go in there all guns blazing because they're prepared. Those people that have the controversial opinions are always the ones that have the
They have them
strongest
for a reason.
statistics. I'm like,
Yeah.
you can't tell me that 67% of black men arrested in America weren't actually shot or whatever you're saying.
Yeah.
Because I don't have anything to back that up. So if I'm sitting there and saying, oh, why do you believe that? It gives them a different tactic to
Yeah.
speaking to someone. If you're not coming at them being quite defensive and aggressive,
Yeah.
it's a learning experience for both of you.
Yeah,
Both of you
yeah,
come
yeah,
out
yeah.
there with slightly edited points of view.
Yeah. That's dope.
And being able to not make judgments on people because of certain things.
So as a 16-year-old, you're telling me you've experienced racism.
Yeah.
In what capacity?
Very, 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 very small capacity. But I've experienced it I told the story the other day actually, but it's not as big of a scale as most things. But so when I was in primary school, I went to a private school, with
Shout out to Shanai.
a large Asian community. There was like one white person, and I was the only mixed race person. Few black people, but it was largely Asian. And I remember hanging out with my friends, and they were like, I was trying to join in on something. They were like, "Oh, you can't do that." I was like, "Why?" And they was like, "You're a different kind." I was like, "What do you mean?" They was like, "You're a different shade of brown to us." I was like, "But we're both brown." They was like, "No, you're different."
Wow.
And it's something that, like, because people think, oh, racism is just from white people, which isn't true. Well, so people can be racially. We'll talk about it another time. But I have experienced something so small, but it has fueled something that has made me have an interest in it. Why people are racist, why people think it's okay.
Yeah.
And because a lot of racist people don't understand they're being racist. And obviously, if you're not like, oh, that's racist, and you don't come at them so defensive, if you just help them understand, then you've clocked it.
Yeah.
Mad thing.
You had another question.
I wanted to ask, is it really true that as 16-year-olds, you are under pressure to send nudes?
Wow.
Like,
wow.
Yeah, like this is real, you know. This is actually real. Like, I was talking to young people,
so real.
and the way like people are sending nudes these days, it's like you're sending text messages.
Guys are like, look at this.
But
no,
please unpack this to me, please, because I don't understand. One, I don't understand the okayness of it all and the frequency, but also how did that happen?
So
the origin of nudes.
The origin of nudes.
It all roots from social media and how everyone's addicted to it.
Okay.
So these people that are asking, I was about to say boys, but that's a bit sexist. These people that are asking for nudes aren't confident enough to, in real life, be like, I want to see your nude body. So social media gives you a medium to be able to be confident through, and people are too vulnerable, and they think it's what everyone's doing. That's a huge factor. People think that everyone's sending them, so I'm sending them. It's normal. It's what everyone does, which isn't the case, because I know loads of people that haven't sent nudes, but lots of people have sent nudes, but because they think everyone else is doing it.
Yeah.
So through Snapchat, people think, oh, it's a 3-second snap. It's going to disappear forever. No, of course it's not going to disappear forever.
It's in the cloud.
It's in the cloud.
It's in the cloud.
Wow.
Do you know what my mum said to me the other day? She was like, when it was a sticky situation.
What?
But she said, I could take your phone, and she works in social services to do with that, child protection. She said, I can take your phone to a certain person, they can run it through and tell me if there's ever been any nudes on your phone. Any nudes. I wasn't sure if it's coming from other people or me, but everyone, if my mum can do it.
But aren't people
I don't know
scared
if that's just a lie
of
that parents
that photo
tell.
getting out?
So
I don't understand, because my fear would just be, obviously I wouldn't send a nude, but my thing was, you're going to post that somewhere. Like, don't people get scared about that?
boys aren't scared.
So
Didn't
boys
they
are
tell you
sending
that?
nudes as well as
Savage.
girls.
It's lad culture. Yeah, girls are shook.
So boys are sending more nudes than girls?
Boys are asking for more, not always giving them back. Because if you're sending them, you might not want them back. Like if a boy asks you, you might use it for validation. So I know quite a few people that are like, oh, I want to know if I'm sexually attractive to boys that are my age. I don't know. I've never had an experience like that. So they might send a picture, but they might not want one back. They're not in it for that. So boys, it's okay. It's okay for boys to send nudes. It's what they think.
What's mad, is that it sounds like what sex was when we were in school. So like when we were in school, everybody used to think that everybody else was having sex and no one was really having sex. And then the people that were doing it weren't necessarily doing it because they loved the person that they were sleeping with. It was more just like to feel cool or to feel good or to feel liked.
It still happens.
But now it happens with nudes as well.
Nudes, yeah.
Because when I was in school, we couldn't even take photos on our phone. Like we couldn't. So to send a nude, you had to like literally take a picture on a camera and develop it, go to Boots, take that out and post it to someone. That's all long for
But that's what I'm saying. That's why it's so easy now.
Mad.
You have your phone in your hand,
mad.
Wow.
and there's a mirror. Like it's that easy. If you if you don't get it, if you don't understand the issues with it, you're just gonna think that everyone else is doing it. I want to know that I am sexually appealing, and like the fear of it getting leaked is what prohibits me. That was not the only thing.
She's like, that is the only reason I don't send. So if I could trust you,
shout out to mum.
shout out, mum. No, don't send any nudes.
Yeah, don't. It's not like, and a fear of if I get famous one day.
Yeah. It's tense.
That is it.
It's tense.
It's
It's
very
tense.
few.
You don't know where you're gonna end up
Guys,
if you
be
get
sending
famous.
that.
And
Shanai
then
can't make us tonight, but we have a photo from
like
her. So
they get leaked. If you think all those celebrities that get news leaked,
Like, wasn't it Sonia from EastEnders or something? the other
Sonia.
day?
Oh, I haven't seen those
That
ones.
was a mad one. She
Wow.
got some nudes
I haven't
leaked.
seen those ones.
Yeah.
right, we got to wrap this up real quick soon. But I'm gonna throw something at you to get you thinking on your feet. In the last 5 minutes. So the question is: life is harder, or the statement is: life is harder as a teenager than it is as an adult. Now it's your turn in the hot seat to ask us as adults, what do you want to know about life as an adult? And I don't know, we're 25, 26, 27. We're not. I don't even feel like a mad real adult.
I'm a big man. You know?
I'm a big
No,
man, but I'm
joking.
not 30. So, what do you want to know on that side? Like, we were just firing questions, but are there any questions that you have for us?
So what was the stage that you realised that I'm an adult now? Like, I can't keep on doing childish things. You might
Next
not have.
year.
Next question.
well. What was the stage when I thought I'm an adult now? Maybe like 25, 26. I think the first time I thought it was like when I came out of university and I was like, right, I've got to get my life together. Then I was like, no, people are still going to look after me. It's calm. I felt like my parents would still handle my business. But now my parents are getting old, so I'm thinking, it's game time now. Like, if I don't have money, I just don't have money. Like, no one's not going to lend me no money. Or if my parents, God forbid, were to pass away, like, then that's it. I'm in it by myself. And no one's going to look after me. So I think that was probably like 2 or 3 years ago when I finally thought, all right, it's time to sort it out now. Which is a scary thought, but this is a little bit depressing. Well, Swaz.
I think I had those urges to be an adult. I kind of understood when my mum snapped her Achilles. So she plays badminton. Well, she doesn't anymore because of the injury. So shout out Debs. But she snapped her Achilles and she came home in this cast. And I'd never seen a cast before. And when she showed me her ankle, I was like, it's all blessed, man. It'll go up to your knee. This thing went up all the way to her waist. And so she had to carry herself up the stairs, like seat by seat, or stair by stair, step by step. What am I trying to say? Like
seat by seat, stair by
sit
stair.
in the shower. We had to cook. Me and my brother really had to look after her. And as much as that's your mum, that's a real shift. As I think I was only about, 10, 11. And as a 10-year-old and 11-year-old, that's mad, because your mum is the one who's up and running and doing everything. And, a lot of respect to my mum, because I'm sure that must have been really difficult for that role reversal to have happened. And I'm not saying I became an adult at 10 years old, but
you
I...
lived your 20s at 10 years old. It's mad.
Trust me.
That is wild.
That's all wild. But the idea that you have to be self-sufficient, you have to do for yourself, you have to cook, you have to clean, you've got to look after someone else who is depending on you for whatever, a cup of tea, even if it's simple as that. That doesn't happen unless you do it. Kind of hit me a little bit then. So yeah, like early then, but I think going to uni does, because you meet wild people at uni. You meet people, no word of a lie, who don't wash.
They can't do their washing.
They can't. It's all mad.
So tragic.
So yeah, if you're asking about being an adult, I don't ever think most adults would know when that kicks in.
People at my age crave it, like, to be an adult.
Independence.
I've heard people saying, I want to move out. Nah. I was like, calm yourself down. Even if you don't like your parents.
Yeah, just chill, B.
Like,
it
there's
only
no
gets
rush.
worse.
I don't really want to grow up, to be honest.
Well,
it's already getting a bit much for me.
Well, this is the trick, isn't it? As the old T-shirt states. No,
refuse to grow up. Oh, what a plug! What a plug!
Oh, Shanai, you have been a treat to really give us that scope.
A dream.
Wow.
Honestly, I think I've learned so much about your generation in about 45 minutes.
Yeah, fam.
That's a lot of pressure.
That is mad.
Can I just slip a thing in here?
Yeah, of course you can.
I do not represent young people.
I am not.
So shout out to young people everywhere.
Yeah,
Sorry if I was a bad representative.
You're all unique. You're all different.
That's the litmus. Life is harder as a teenager. Do you agree than it is as an adult?
Yes.
Oh.
Benj.
No way. No. You'll find out. Don't worry. It's coming. It's coming.
I don't know, maybe as a young person at your age in 2018, perhaps there are things that are harder than when I was at your age.
Yeah.
But I don't know. We don't know. Let us know. Litmus Podcast with me, Swazi, Shanai, and the Real Ben Hurst.
Out here.